You live in a world full of noise. Opinions, comparisons, and distractions surround you every day. Everyone seems to be talking about what they are doing, what they have achieved, or what they plan to do. It's easy to get caught up in this noise, to feel pressured to prove yourself, to explain your journey, to announce every small step. But true success, the kind that changes your life, does not need an audience. True success whispers while the world expects a shout. Focus. Focus on your life. Focus on your life, on your growth, on the person you are becoming, not on what others think or say about you. When you dedicate your energy to improving your skills, your mindset, and your character, you create power silently. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strength in disguise. It is the quiet force that allows you to work relentlessly while others waste time seeking validation. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Every step you take in diligence, every sacrifice you make, and every challenge you overcome is building your future. The world may not notice today, but it will recognize the results tomorrow. Success is patient. It does not rush to prove itself. When you focus on your work and remain consistent, success will eventually make the noise for you. And when it does, it will be undeniable. Resist the urge to compare your journey with others. Everyone has a different path, different timing, and different challenges. Instead, measure yourself against your own progress. Celebrate small wins in silence, because each one is a building block for the greater life you are constructing. Remember, not every battle needs to be announced. Some battles are meant to be won quietly, inside the heart where your character is being forged. Stay disciplined, stay patient, stay silent. When the world is busy talking, be busy growing. Let your dedication, your results, and your transformation speak for you. In time, your success will not just speak, it will roar. And no one will doubt the effort, resilience, and heart that led you there. The most powerful people you know are not those who constantly tell the world what they are doing. They are the ones who quietly work, persevere, and let their success make the noise. You have the power to be that person. Start today. Focus on your life. Work silently. And watch as your results speak louder than any words ever could. Silence is often misunderstood in our noisy world. People think that if you are not constantly talking, explaining, or proving yourself, you are weak or stagnant. But the truth is the opposite. Silence is the language of strength. Those who truly succeed, who create lasting impact in their lives and the lives of others, understand that power is cultivated quietly, far from the eyes of judgment and distraction. Every moment spent in silent focus is a moment where your energy is concentrated on what truly matters, your growth, your vision, and your craft. When you choose silence, you are choosing to redirect your attention from external validation to internal development. You are choosing to let your work, your effort, and your results carry the message. Words without action are empty, but quiet action creates momentum, builds confidence, and shapes character. In this silence, you become resilient. You become patient. You learn to trust the process and respect the journey. You realize that not every step of progress needs applause, and not every challenge needs an audience. Silence also protects your focus. In a world that constantly demands your attention with notifications, opinions, and comparisons, maintaining quiet allows your mind to prioritize what is essential. It frees you from the distraction of showing off, from competing for attention, and from the unnecessary pressure of convincing others of your worth. When you work quietly, your energy is devoted entirely to growth. You think deeper, plan better, and act with intention. Moreover, silence builds anticipation. There is a unique power in letting your results emerge without preamble. People often underestimate the impact of those who act quietly but persistently. When your achievements finally surface, they are undeniable, powerful, and commanding. The contrast between your silent effort and the visible results creates respect, admiration, and influence. Choosing silence is not easy. It requires self-discipline, confidence, and a clear understanding of your goals. It is a daily decision to resist the urge to explain yourself, to justify your actions, or to seek approval. But in this discipline, you cultivate an inner strength that cannot be shaken. Silence becomes your shield, your strategy, and your superpower, allowing you to grow, persevere, and ultimately let your success speak for itself. Focusing on yourself is one of the most powerful decisions you can make in life. It is easy to get distracted by what others are doing, by comparisons, or by the constant pressure to prove yourself. Yet when you shift your attention inward, when you dedicate your energy to your own growth and your own path, you begin to build a life that is authentic, meaningful, and unstoppable. Focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring the world. It means choosing where to invest your time, energy, and emotions wisely. When you prioritize your personal development, every choice becomes intentional. You start to recognize what truly matters to you, what aligns with your values, and what brings you closer to your goals. You stop chasing approval or measuring your success against someone else's standards. Instead, your journey becomes your own, unique and tailored to the person you are becoming. This focus creates clarity. It allows you to set boundaries, to say no to distractions, and to eliminate unnecessary noise from your life. Focusing on yourself also strengthens your resilience. Life is full of challenges, criticism, and setbacks, and if your attention is constantly on others, you will be easily shaken. But when your energy is directed towards your own growth, you become grounded. You begin to understand that your worth is not determined by external validation, and your progress is not contingent on the recognition of others. Each small improvement, each disciplined action, and each step toward your goals builds confidence and self-trust. Moreover, focusing on yourself gives you the space to reflect, to learn, and to evolve. You start to notice patterns in your behavior, understand your strengths and weaknesses, and take responsibility for your growth. You no longer blame circumstances or seek shortcuts. You embrace the journey because you see the value in each lesson and the potential in each effort. This focus transforms not only your life, but also your impact on others. When you are fully engaged in becoming your best self, your energy, actions, and attitude naturally inspire those around you. People are drawn to authenticity, dedication, and discipline. By focusing on yourself, you are silently shaping the life you desire while influencing the world around you in ways that words alone cannot achieve. Actions speak louder than words. This is a truth that cannot be overstated. Yet so many people waste their energy talking about their plans, their dreams, or their intentions without ever taking the steps necessary to make them real. Words can inspire, but without action, they remain empty. True influence, true impact, comes from what you do, not from what you say. Your results, your perseverance, and the consistency of your effort are the proof of your character, your discipline, and your vision. When you focus on action over words, you cultivate credibility. People may doubt your ideas, question your abilities, or underestimate your potential, but nothing speaks louder than results. Each step you take, each task you complete, and each obstacle you overcome builds an undeniable record of your dedication. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your journey. Your actions are a statement far more powerful than any argument or explanation could ever be. Focusing on action also strengthens your mindset. When you commit to doing rather than merely talking, you develop discipline, resilience, and problem-solving skills. You learn to face challenges head on, to adapt when plans fail, and to keep moving forward even when progress seems slow. Words may come easily, but action requires courage, consistency, and focus. It demands that you move despite fear, frustration, or doubt. And it is through this movement that growth occurs. Moreover, taking action transforms dreams into reality. Ideas alone are powerless. It is only through effort, consistency, and deliberate steps that goals are achieved. Every small action, repeated daily, compounds into significant results over time. This is why patience and persistence are inseparable from action. Even when the results are not immediately visible, each effort contributes to a foundation that will eventually support the life you are building. Finally, when you act quietly but consistently, your success will make the noise for you. While others are busy talking about what they hope to achieve, you are building, creating, and growing. The difference between those who talk and those who act is what separates dreams from reality. Your actions, no matter how small at first, are creating momentum. Over time, this momentum transforms into visible results that cannot be ignored. And in that moment, your silent dedication speaks louder than any words ever could. Patience and consistency are the quiet forces behind every meaningful success. In a world that constantly demands instant results and immediate recognition, it can feel discouraging when progress is slow or invisible. But true growth, the kind that transforms your life and shapes your character, does not happen overnight. It is forged in the steady, unwavering commitment to show up, to keep working, and to keep believing in yourself even when no one is watching. Consistency is not about grand gestures. It is about small, deliberate actions repeated day after day. Each effort, each disciplined choice builds on the one before it, creating momentum that compounds over time. The person who writes a page, practices a skill, or takes a small step toward a goal daily is far more powerful than someone who waits for the perfect moment or relies on bursts of inspiration. Patience allows you to endure the periods when the fruits of your labor are not yet visible. It teaches you that setbacks, delays, and challenges are not failures. They are lessons, refining your strategy, strengthening your resolve, and preparing you for what is to come. When you practice patience, you learn to trust the process. You begin to understand that the universe, life, and your own potential operate on their own timelines. You stop comparing your journey to others, stop rushing for approval, and stop seeking immediate validation. Instead, you develop a mindset that values perseverance over recognition, long-term growth over short-term gains, and the resilience over convenience. Consistency, paired with patience, also builds confidence. Each day that you show up, no matter how small the action, reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve your goal. You begin to see that success is not a matter of luck or chance, but the natural outcome of persistent effort and disciplined choices. This confidence becomes a shield against doubt, fear, and distraction, allowing you to maintain focus even in the face of obstacles. Ultimately, patience and consistency are what allow your work to speak for itself. While others may seek quick fame, instant results, or recognition without effort, your disciplined approach silently compounds into achievements that cannot be ignored. Success does not need to be announced. It becomes undeniable. By staying patient and consistent, you create a foundation that supports not only your goals, but also the person you are becoming, the resilient, disciplined, and unstoppable version of yourself who is capable of achieving greatness in every area of life. Celebrating quiet wins is one of the most overlooked habits on the path to success. In a world obsessed with recognition, likes, and applause, it is easy to dismiss small victories as insignificant. or to feel they are not worth acknowledging. Yet these small steps, these seemingly minor accomplishments, are the building blocks of greatness. Each time you overcome a challenge, complete a task, or push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you are creating momentum that will carry you to larger achievements. Learning to celebrate these wins in silence allows you to cultivate gratitude, self-awareness, and motivation without relying on external validation. Acknowledging your progress quietly strengthens your internal drive. When you celebrate in private, you shift the focus from impressing others to truly appreciating your own effort. This creates a deep sense of satisfaction and self-worth, which becomes a foundation for resilience. Life will inevitably present obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but when you have learned to honor your own progress, you carry with you a reservoir of confidence and determination. You begin to trust your journey, knowing that each step, no matter how small, contributes to your larger vision. Quiet celebration also allows you to stay humble and focused. By not constantly broadcasting your achievements, you avoid the trap of pride or the pressure to keep performing for an audience. Your attention remains on growth, on improvement, and on the next step, rather than on seeking approval or comparison. This habit creates consistency because it reinforces the intrinsic value of effort rather than the temporary satisfaction of recognition. Moreover, small victories act as milestones that guide your progress. They help you track growth, measure improvements, and maintain perspective on your journey. When you take the time to honor these moments, you reinforce a mindset of progress rather than perfection, understanding that success is a collection of small, intentional steps. Each quiet win is a reminder that you are capable, that you are evolving, and that your persistence is paying off. Ultimately, celebrating small victories silently is a strategy for long-term success. It builds confidence, reinforces discipline, and nurtures a resilient mindset. By appreciating your efforts without seeking applause, you prepare yourself for the larger achievements that lie ahead. Your life becomes a series of purposeful steps, each quietly strengthening your foundation, until the time comes when the world cannot ignore the results of your consistent, dedicated effort. Letting success make the noise is the ultimate demonstration of patience, discipline, and focus. In a world that constantly encourages self-promotion, boasting, and proving oneself, it can feel tempting to announce every achievement, share every plan, or seek validation for every effort. But the truth is that when you focus on results rather than recognition, when you channel your energy into consistent action instead of words, success speaks for itself, and it speaks louder than any announcement ever could. There is a quiet power in allowing your work to create impact without needing approval, applause, or attention along the way. When you let success make the noise, you shift your mindset from seeking external validation to trusting the process. You focus on what you can control, your effort, your consistency, and your growth. You stop worrying about how others perceive your journey and instead invest fully in building the life you want. Every decision, every action, and every moment of discipline accumulates into results that cannot be ignored. By the time the world notices, your success becomes undeniable, commanding respect and admiration because it is earned, not claimed. This approach also strengthens humility. Those who boast about their progress or constantly seek recognition risk tying their worth to external opinions. But when you allow your success to emerge quietly, your achievements carry an authenticity that is impossible to fabricate. People are drawn to real results, to tangible transformation, and to the silent determination that made it possible. The louder the world's noise, the more your quiet consistency shines through as a force that cannot be dismissed. Moreover, letting success speak builds confidence and self-trust. You begin to realize that your journey is yours alone, and that your dedication is the most important measure of progress. You no longer need to justify your actions, explain your efforts, or seek approval from anyone. every victory, whether by G or small, reinforces your belief in yourself and your path. Over time, these results compound into a life that reflects your discipline, resilience, and clarity of purpose. Ultimately, allowing success to make the noise is a statement of integrity, focus, and power. It shows that you are not motivated by recognition or comparison, but by the desire to grow, achieve, and leave a lasting impact. When you commit to this path, the world cannot ignore your achievements. The results of your dedication, hard work, and silent perseverance become the loudest testimony of all, proving that action, patience, and consistency will always outshine empty words.